here's the deal. Social media is great, okay? I'm not gonna say it's horrible. I'm trying to use it to raise awareness of my artwork and start a small business, so it's not bad. But it can sometimes be really toxic. Social media can lead to really unrealistic goals and expectations, and this can be in a million different areas of your life. Unrealistic expectations for how you should look, unrealistic expectations for how many followers you should have, and it's just not healthy. Now, I have watched my fair share of YouTube videos over the years on how to grow my social media pages. Videos like how I gained 10,000 Instagram followers overnight, or how I went from 0 to 100,000 subscribers on YouTube in 6 months. But the truth is, that's really rare. Most people do not blow up like that. It's just not realistic. But if all you focus on are the accounts that do blow up like that, because they're the ones you see, it's gonna make you feel like you should be doing the same thing, and that if you're not as good as them. But that's not true. So basically, what I'm getting at here is I don't want to watch those videos anymore because it causes me to set unrealistic expectations for myself and for my Instagram page and my YouTube channel and my dreams of starting my own small business. And it's just not healthy, and it's not going to help me accomplish those goals. So don't look at those videos and those creators and expect that for yourself. I'm kind of talking to myself here, but also whoever's watching that does the same thing. Before I keep going, I want to give credit to 2 YouTubers who I very recently discovered who are not unrealistic like this and share the truth of their journey with social media, and who I have taken a lot of inspiration from lately with setting and accomplishing my own goals. The first one is Moo Illustration. There's one video in particular that I'm thinking of that I found from her. She goes through her entire over 2-year journey of pursuing art full-time and starting her art business as an illustrator. She talks through how she set realistic goals for herself that she knew would take a long time to accomplish and didn't expect to accomplish quickly. And she talked about how she kind of, right from the start, established 4 phases that she wanted to work through over a series of years. The second creator is named Dina Liu. She has been on YouTube for over 2 years, and I just discovered her because one of her videos just very recently blew up, and then she made a video about how it felt to finally blow up on YouTube and what she got out of it. And through that video, I discovered that she makes tons of helpful videos about her journey starting her Etsy business, selling digital downloads, and I think she's just a really awesome creator to look up to for this kind of thing. So to begin, I wanted to take inspiration from Moo Illustration's phases that she set for herself and kind of do something very similar. So phase 1, I'm calling laying the foundation. And since I'm setting these phases a little bit late into my social media and small business journey, they're kind of gonna overlap a little bit, at least the first 2. So for phase 1, I wanted to really just focus on what I love to do. It's really easy to get caught up in the people I'm following on my art Instagram page, which is @RightBrainRage, by the way, if you don't follow it. And it's really easy to compare my own artwork to them and see that they're getting more views or more likes or more followers than me, and then think that I need to do what they're doing. And I fall victim to this all the time, but I don't want to anymore. I want to do what I enjoy doing and what's going to set me apart from everyone else. So I first sat down and I was like, what do I like to do? What kind of art do I like? I love digital art, I love photography, and I love film and making videos. My major is film production, so then I thought, how can I use these artistic skills to create content that people will enjoy and that I will enjoy making? And I have done a lot of digital illustrations in the past where I illustrate an entire image, but I've also done a couple where I just illustrate one thing in the image. And I really enjoy those because it allows me to combine my love for digital art and photography into one image. So I decided I'm going to do more of that. And I think it's unique too because most people do illustrate the whole image. Most people don't just do one part of it. But I want to do that because I enjoy that, and then it allows me to show off my digital art skills and my photography skills in the same picture. Then for making videos, I am already prioritizing making YouTube videos, and I figured I can bring that over to Instagram by creating reels as well. I don't love short form video content on Instagram and TikTok. That's not really what I like creating, but I do like making videos, and I know that those videos help you reach more people and grow your audience. So I'm gonna try to start getting into that and figuring out what I like to create in that form. And finally, this was a big one that I got from Mimi Moo Illustrations. It's so simple, just to dedicate a little bit of time every day to doing some form of art, even if it's only 15 minutes. I have a lot of habits that I do daily, and I'm really good at doing them because it's just my personality. Like, I won't be able to rest if I don't do those habits because I can't lose my streak. So I do the Wordle every morning. I do a crossword, the daily mini crossword from New York Times. I do a Sudoku puzzle, and I recently added in doing Duolingo every day because I want to get better at Spanish, and I've been sticking with that. It's been a few weeks and I haven't lost my streak, so I figured if I'm keeping up with all those streaks, it should be pretty easy for me to add in one more, do some art for 15 minutes. If that's all you can fit in for the day, at least it's something. So that will probably more frequently be in the form of digital art because that's easy to do on the go if I'm at work or in a class or just on campus and not at home. But I also want to try to do more photography in some of those 15-minute art gaps I have. I want to try to make time to go take photos that I wouldn't normally take the time to take. And then I figured if I'm doing art every single day, I can share these moments on my Instagram story and show some behind the scenes, because that's another thing I struggle with, is knowing what to put on my Instagram story. But if I'm making a little bit of time for art every single day, then I should always have something to share on my story because people like to see behind the scenes and I like to share behind the scenes. And finally, what I established in phase 1 is my 2 main social media platforms, which I've already been kind of using, but I just wanted to write them out and make it clear what I'm using them for and what I'm sharing on those platforms. So of course there's Instagram. This is where I'm sharing my artwork and my progress and growth as an artist and kind of finding my style and where I fit in the art social media world. I plan to try to post 2 times a week. I feel like that's pretty manageable, and I think if I were to try and make it a lot more than that, even though that might help with my growth, I think that would really overwhelm me with everything else I have going on. So 2 times a week seems good to me. And then the second platform, of course, is YouTube. I plan to share my process of my art, behind the scenes, and building my small business, showing that small business journey. And I plan to post once a week, which I've been keeping up with so far, so hopefully that continues. Now that's phase 1. Phase 2 is to start selling. Now this is what I mean by my first 2 phases kind of overlap, because I've already kind of tried to start doing this before establishing these phases. I currently have an Etsy shop with a couple little digital downloads and offers for personalized custom digital illustrations, but I want to add more products to that throughout this year. As I get more confident in my artistic abilities, I want to explore more digital download options that I could create. And then I would also love to start selling some actual physical products that I ship out. But if you've watched any of my other videos in my small business journey, you know that I'm a little bit intimidated by that, but I do want to do that this year. And then another part of phase 2 that I never really thought about for myself for some reason, but what I actually got from Dina Liu, who's the second creator I mentioned earlier, is to just open commissions through Instagram. Even though I have digital illustrations up on my Etsy as a listing, there isn't a lot of traffic going to my Etsy right now because it's so new. So I think a great way to get myself out there and get people to start buying from me is just through my Instagram, at least in the beginning, because people can see what I'm making on there, and then those followers could just easily DM me and get an illustration for themselves without having to go to an external website that they might not even know exists. So that's phase 1 and 2, laying the foundation and starting to sell some of my artwork. Phase 3 would just be to go full time, continue to create artwork, continue to add new products and listings to my Etsy shop, and just grow my business, and then hopefully eventually be able to scale that business, grow more income, and just be able to pursue it full time would be a dream. So those are the phases I've established for myself with a lot of inspiration from Mimi Moo Illustrations. And then of course, as I mentioned, I want to set realistic goals for myself. And these are really simple. I want to be more consistent on Instagram and YouTube, which I've already mentioned a gazillion times at this point, and I think I'm doing a pretty good job. And as I already mentioned, I want to do art regularly, and I want to do art that I enjoy, not just what I see is getting the views and the followers online. And of course, I want to raise awareness of my art and my brand and grow my following and my community, but I'm not setting a specific number to hit, and I'm not setting a deadline because I'm aware that this is just something that takes time, and it takes a different amount of time for everybody, and it's very unrealistic that I'm gonna get a bunch of followers overnight like those videos that you see online. So I'm not planning on saying I need to hit a certain number of followers by next month. I'm just gonna make it my goal to continue to do what I'm doing and raise awareness and grow a community however long it takes. Finally, what are my next steps? So it's currently February 14th while I'm filming this. Happy Valentine's Day. I currently have Instagram posts planned through March-ish. I just got up a YouTube video today, so my next one, which is this one, isn't for a whole week. So this should definitely be ready by the time it needs to go up. And so moving forward, I want to just continue to do art regularly so that I always have Instagram posts in my back pocket ready to go. I think if I don't consistently do art, I start to get overwhelmed with what to post because I feel like I have nothing to share. That's what tends to make me fall behind on my Instagram and stop posting consistently. So I want to make sure that I'm just doing art regularly so that I always have posts planned a few weeks in advance, ideally. I want to continue to film and document my journey and just make videos that I enjoy making. And I want to continue to work on my Etsy behind the scenes because it's a lot more work than it looks like on the surface. So there you go, those are my unrealistic. Love that the whole point of this video is setting realistic goals, and I accidentally said unrealistic right at the end. Just ignore that and pretend I said realistic. Phases and goals and next steps for me, my art, and my small business. And I hope that you enjoyed this video and got something out of it. And if you did, hopefully you'll subscribe so that you can see me again.